This is a CBC podcast. Discover the CBC programs of yesteryear, like Man Alive and Life in Times, with the CBC Digital Archives. Watch, hear, and collect your favorite clips at cbc.ca/archives.
Some of Angela Hardy's first artwork still hangs on her mother's fridge in Wabush. As a young girl, she was inspired by her mother, who's also an artist. Her talent was recognized by her parents, who encouraged her to pursue her dream of becoming an artist. And she did. This week, Angela Hardy is home to exhibit her work. Mike Power dropped by the Labrador West Arts and Culture Centre as Angela was hanging her work for her current exhibit.
Don't worry about them being uneven or anything. We'll fix that afterwards. Yeah. And same thing as over there, just put all the tags at the base and line them across.
Probably behind it.
Okay. Yeah, we got Mom working hard for us today.
Angela Hardy, welcome home, back to Western Labrador. Tell me a little bit about your own history when it comes to art.
Well, I've got a very long history. I've been pretty much painting and drawing since I was a kid. My parents have been very supportive. They did their best to take me to galleries and museums and buy art books for me, and they even made a point of having me go out to Mount Allison one summer when I was in high school to get some more training.
At what point did you know that art was going to be something that you would pursue seriously?
I've always known. It was always something that I would do. I mean, there was a brief period where I thought I'd do fashion design, but that was a very fleeting moment. And ever since even junior high, I've been doing portraits for people, so it's just in my blood. Mm-hmm. And the one thing I've learned is that I wouldn't be happy doing anything else.
And you studied in Nova Scotia? And
Actually, I studied in both Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. I studied at West Viking College when I was there. It's College of the North Atlantic in Stephenville. And I did a 2-year program there where I met my husband. And then we both went on up to Halifax, to NASCAD, and I finished my degree there.
This wall we're looking at here is mostly all portraits of people, and not the kind of portraits that we normally think as formal portraits, but a lot of fun portraits.
Yeah. For years, I grew up having to do people would basically bring the typical, almost like the Sears portrait or school days picture to me, and I would paint it. And once you kind of learn your skill set, that kind of becomes more of a technical or a mechanical process. There's not quite as much fun to it. And over the last few years, especially with things like Facebook and the internet and that, I started getting caught up in digging through people's Facebook photo albums, all these friends that I have. And I have a very eclectic group of friends that I've made over the years, everything from burlesque dancers to tattoo artists to, the whole full spectrum. I have them all. And I get some pretty awesome pictures. And it's often ones that they've taken of themselves, and they give me permission to paint these. They're not obligated to buy them. It's just for my own selfish pleasure to get to paint these paintings every day.
You've sold to some fairly well-known collectors and people. How does that feel?
Actually, that's exhilarating to know that someone, especially like Howard Toolman in the States, he's actually in Chicago, and my work was actually featured at American Art Collector down in the States a couple of times, and he had seen my work and called me up, and right away, just over the phone, 2 paintings, and they're in part his collection, and he actually has I think several thousand pieces in his collection in Chicago, and it's the biggest one in North America, actually. And it's all up-and-coming artists. It's all figurative and realistic. And then there's also people like Bob Buckingham in St. John's, who actually has a lot of my work. He's been collecting those for years.
Let's look at some of these pictures. I'm fascinated because from afar, they could almost be photographs. They're all so much fun, like somebody with 3D glasses, a girl with a drink, smoking a cigarette. And there's always these things about tattooed people, pierced people, and a lot of times candy.
Yeah. I love the concept of costume, and I also love just the concept of people feeling free to be who they want to be. I have a large group of friends that are definitely not conservative in nature. And lots of times they do have these pictures of themselves. And then there's other times, like things with the Facebook, with the sunglasses and candy. I do a couple of them. I post them on Facebook, and then I basically, for a week or two, keep posting. Hey, guys, let me know, I need pictures with the sweet stuff. Start taking pictures with candy, and I will get a flood of people taking pictures of their kids with, lollipop stains up their face, and friends with these wild, dollar store sunglasses on, and even photographers, send me stuff. It's great. Actually, Andy Gotts from England really likes my stuff, and he's basically the A-list for Hollywood. And he actually let me know that, if I want to take any of his photos, I can too, which was a little flattering.
Now, how do people feel when they walk in and see themselves hanging on the wall?
I think people are a little shocked because they don't realize that they can be a piece of artwork. They don't realize how much detail that I can put into a picture, and often the reply is, you made me look better than I am, which I find very flattering, but to me, I'm painting them.
Looking at the paintings right now is your mother, and she's an artist in her own right with the Visual Arts Association, Cheryl Hardy. Cheryl, how does it feel to walk around and help your daughter hang this exhibition and to look at the work that she's doing?
I have to be honest with you, I'm not walking, I'm floating. It's so exciting, and just the response of knowing, since she's come into town, the people that are just so excited about coming and looking at it and seeing it. So it's wonderful to see her evolve to this. As a small child, when she'd draw, like I used to, and she'd come out with pictures, the typical fridge pictures, and here, this is for you, Mommy, and or if she got in trouble and got a bawling out and she came out and we still have it on our fridge, that she brought it out and it was a picture. I have bad days also, or bad days too, and it was like, wow, this is a little tiny child coming out and not drawing stick people. And I thought, oh my goodness, she has talent. Right. And then to watch it evolve.
It's so wonderful to welcome you home and to see this work, and I'm sure we'll be hearing lots more about you in the future. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Mike.
Angela Hardy there, originally from Wabash. She now lives in Quebec City. You can check out her artwork and even buy some of it at the Labrador West Arts and Culture Centre today from 11 to 5 and tomorrow from 2 until 4.
For more on all of our CBC podcasts, head to cbc.ca/podcasting.